So our final session of the symposium will focus on regulation and application of blockchain technologies. The session will be chaired by Dr. Ernie Teo, who's the co-founder of Didoco, and adjunct senior lecturer at NBS and senior lecturer at, adjunct senior lecturer at NUS and senior lecturer at NBS. He's also the program director at NBS. So please welcome Dr. Teo.
All right, thanks. So I guess we have reached the final session today and of all the academic sessions. And after hearing about all the different kind of computational techniques and models, this session we are actually going to hear about applications. So we are going to hear about how we can put all these practices in place, right? And for the first presentation, we had Professor Nir Kshetri, right? And he's professor at the University of North Carolina-Greensboro, and he's also a research fellow at Kobe University. Now, Prof has authored 14 books and over 250 academic articles translated into multiple languages, and his work has been featured in multiple media outlets such as BBC, Bloomberg, Economist, etc. Right, so let's welcome Prof to tell us more about his work.
Focusing on the institutional, strategic, and economic aspect. So, I have been working on different areas of blockchain for some time. And so basically, my work about this blockchain and supply chain, long ago in 2020, I did a book about blockchain and supply chain management because Elsevier really wanted me to do that book. And it was really, there were a lot of cases, thousands of supply chain cases, easy to find, easy to write a book. And they contacted me a few months back, we want second edition. And 90% of the cases that I was doing, they no longer exist. All supply chain cases. Examples are, for example, Alibaba and JD.com, the Chinese e-commerce companies were kind of tracking dairy products from New Zealand or Australian beef, Australian healthcare related products to China. They don't do that anymore. And Walmart was tracking all these kind of mangoes from Mexico and vegetables. It doesn't do that anymore. And if you look at companies like Nestle or even the like Swiss Post was tracking all the medicines supplied in Switzerland using blockchain. It doesn't use that anymore. So basically all the cases are, this is a very nice technology. There are a lot of exciting opportunities that we have been talking about this yesterday and today, but the real world application has not been that great. So I couldn't find a lot of applications, and we have been talking a lot of things about blockchain, like let's say, decentralized finance. About decentralized finance, let me go to the next slide first. This is a graph about decentralized finance and the total value locked. The latest data I was working on my book was $90 billion. And if you look at all these banks, traditional banks and digital banks, last year, only interest, they made $8.5 trillion. So this is kind of 1% of the interest. And I don't know, out of these 90 billion, how much exactly is the interest? Maybe something like a few $1 billion. So this is kind of 0.01% of the traditional bank, although decentralized finance started long ago. Another thing we were talking about, okay, one problem with the decentralized finance is, there are a lot of issues you have to solve. You cannot really solve them on-chain. You have to solve those problems off-chain. And there are also a lot of regulatory and all those things, and that is one challenge. And we were talking about central bank digital currency like a couple of hours ago, and there are 134 countries in the world. They have been trying, and only 3 countries have implemented that so far. And actually, China is a big kind of player in the central bank digital currency, and already very successful, although not formally implemented, but that doesn't really use any blockchain. Chinese central bank digital currency, they call the DCEP, no blockchain in that one. Actually, where I live, North Carolina, recently, just 2 weeks back, passed a law No CBDC in North Carolina. Okay, even the federal government decides to do in the US, it doesn't matter. In North Carolina, we'll not use that because of a lot of privacy concerns that central bank digital currency cannot really fix any of the privacy problem. I want my fiat US dollar. No central bank. I don't want government to know what exactly I'm doing. That's what that's what all these kind of lawmakers in the state of North Carolina are talking about. So other thing we were talking about trade finance. That is one thing that briefly mentioned yesterday. And there are many trade finance consortia, and actually two of them, very prominent player. One is Contour, another is We.Trade. Both of them shut down their operations. Several problems. First, there is no funding. And few people invested $2 million, and $2 million is a lot of money if someone gives to me. But to run this consortia with $2 million, it doesn't last more than a month or two. And so Contour was the first company making trade finance transaction. It shut down operation, and with 22 banks over there, and also We.Trade also shut down the operation. And there was very big, actually, coming from the Chinese government, a Chinese central bank, People's Bank of China. They call the Bay Area Trade Finance Platform, and I haven't seen any updates since 2020. Maybe they haven't formally shut down. This is a government thing, but it is not really working any trade finance problem. That is about trade finance. So pretty much blockchain is very nice technology, but actual implementation has a lot of problem. And so the only area I found a little bit more promising is, okay, this is the thing about Forbes company was kind of like starting this, preparing this report every February about the top use cases by billion-dollar company, and it did very comprehensive report in 2020. It hasn't really done, it does still, but okay, if you look at this graph, payment and settlement is only 13 companies had that case, but traceability, provenance, supplies and management, supplies and finance, this is letter of credit, and many of them are related to kind of supply chain related cases, number one. And actually, they were talking about identity management, and I don't really see any identity management successful cases also. And some examples are, there are actually, if you have an ID, you are really, really privileged, lucky person in the world. 1.5 billion people do not have any ID. And a few companies tried that, and in the country of Sierra Leone, very few people have ID, and they were trying in 2019. So the Sierra Leone government was saying everyone in Sierra Leone will have kind of decentralized ID based on government. The project did not go anywhere. And there is another company, BanQ, based in Minneapolis, US, and it has been trying, working with the beer company, South African beer company, to kind of create ID for all farmers, and it has not been doing anything either. So those things are not working either. This is graph from 2020. Actually, none of these things exist anymore if you go to 2024. Actually, in 2024, there is really not a lot of things, and in Forbes company, kind of again published the report, and this is 2023 report, and the example it was giving was, okay, De Beers, the company was using to track diamond. Diamond is really, really interesting thing, probably compared to other things. Diamond there is money to be made. And also another company they gave is they still outer companies, and so maybe it has some interesting business. People really want to know that the company is kind of sourcing the thing sustainably, and that's what it was doing. So, looking at all these things, the only successful cases that did not exist a couple of years back that currently exist is luxury goods industry. That's what I decided to focus on this one. If you look at the luxury goods industry, luxury brands have also, okay, so significant decline in investment, that is in 2020 to 2023, encouraging sign this year, but it was really, really down until last year, investment in blockchain. But the only area is luxury goods industry, and if you look at the Ariana, which provides kind of this blockchain-based infrastructure, it already created 1.6 million digital product passports based on blockchain, and another is Aura Blockchain Consortium, which was originally started by 3 companies and currently had more than 50 companies working on that, and they have also developed a lot of solutions. So basically, they started in, the Louis Vuitton company worked with Microsoft and Consensus, and they are not using any of the blockchain that we were talking about here. They use very simple blockchain. Consensus has developed Quorum blockchain. It is almost like the centralized database, but there are a few other people, actually, few other companies who can verify your report. You cannot delete, and so it is not like Bitcoin type of blockchain that they are using. So, but Louis Vuitton and basically collaborated with two more competitors in April 2021. Then OTV joined later, fourth company, and Mercedes-Benz is the only car company, and that is the 5, and currently more than 50 companies working together, and they were tracking something like the latest data. This is September 2024. I didn't write in Chinese. I don't even know how to write that. So basically, September 2024, 15 million products, kind of digital passports created and tracked using blockchain. So that's what I'm doing in this presentation. And two things. Luxury brands are not like the fast-moving consumer's good. They are not like consumer durables. They really have very kind of different type of features. So I looked from two angles, this one. One is the institutional theory. So institutional theory, they study in economics. There are at least 3 economists who won Nobel Prize studying institutional theory. They study from sociology angle, and they also study from organizational theory. And so institutional theory is about legitimacy. So this is not only economics, but when you want to be successful, you really have to acquire legitimacy from various actors, from regulators, from consumers, from public. That is important. So that is legitimacy related thing. And so there is a lot of legitimacy related pressures that they basically face, and of course from regulators. I'll come to that later. But from consumers and from public. So consumers are really concerned about all the things, and first you have to create some type of social cues. It is not like the mass market product to kind of influence the consumers. That is one thing. Signaling one's position is really important in the luxury sector. That is one thing. And also a lot of other things are here, and status, reputation, legitimacy, important. Probably a couple of important things here are if you want to sell diamond or any of the luxury products to consumers, design is important, maybe. Other things are important, but equally important these days is sustainability, especially for young consumers. Like if you go to the millennial generation or Generation G, they care more about sustainability and all those things. And also there are also media like movies like Blood Diamond, and the Blood Diamond, whatever thing they were talking about, they may not be the real thing, may or may not be the real thing, but consumers consider that as a real thing. And so they want to make sure that the diamond they are purchasing does not contribute to any type of violence in the country where it came from. So that is one thing. And also sustainability is really important from consumer standpoint, including the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, and many consumers think that maybe blockchain can help achieve that. That is from the consumer side. So that is, okay, 2 types of institutions that institutional theorists talk about. One is informal. These are informal institutions. Others are formal institutions. Formal institutions, everyone has to comply with, and if we do not, companies, consumers, citizens face penalty, sanction, that type of thing. So, for example, in the US, they had the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act from 2022 that requires all the companies to verify, to give proof that they did not employ any forced labor in the Xinjiang province in China for any of the fashion or cotton-related products that they are doing. And also, G7 economies in EU, they have kind of Russian diamonds, they have kind of pretty much banned, making sure that the diamond money doesn't go to the Russian government to finance war, and that is one thing. And also, blockchain might be the only technology helping that. And also, EU has the digital product passport, and for many of the sustainability, okay, actually for battery, it is already coming, definitely it is already law. Law was enacted in 2023, and from 2026 February, all the battery used in the European Union countries must have the kind of digital product passport, making sure that where the battery came from and all that thing, making sure that they did not employ the slave labor or the children in the Democratic Republic of Congo and that type of thing. But that is definitely for battery already passed by the European Union, but they are considering for all these fashion-related products and cotton and all those types of things. And so basically, the European Union did a study. This is a study, and they found that textile and fashion industries have triple crisis that they were facing: ecological, economic, and social, and that's what they want to solve using blockchain. So that is one thing, and these are the legitimacy, related pressure, and G7 and EU are already applying, and that. So all these are institutional things. And there are two things in the luxury industry. One is the luxury strategy. So if any company is in the luxury sector, the ordinary strategy that companies have, that doesn't work for them. Another I'll be coming later is the innovation strategy. So luxury strategy, basically, they have all these things: familial lineage, national origin, historical legacy, and all those things are important, the value proposition. And consumers really want to make sure that the luxury product they are buying is made in Italy. So, okay, it is not that made in China is not good, but many consumers actually want made in Italy product, not made in China, and that type of thing. And also, who is the designer? All those things are important. And so, blockchain might be the only way to make sure that they can successfully verify that product. And also, exclusivity and perception, all those are important. And also, traceability, sustainability, and all these things blockchain can help. And so this is the luxury strategy. Luxury brands have different type of strategies that they have to follow. And also innovation strategy. Innovation strategy is not only for the luxury brands, but any companies that are kind of doing business. So basically luxury strategy was there. The innovation strategy is about creating innovation capability. And Pisano wrote an article long ago in Harvard Business Review. And what Pisano was saying was innovation strategy. How are we expecting innovation to create value for customer and for our company? So creating value means value is not what this is kind of marketing jargon, value creation and value capture. That means customer value is not what you think, what consumers think in their mind, and that is important, and you have to prove that. So innovation, blockchain is a key component in the innovation strategy, and that is one thing. And so kind of many companies are using digital product passport to make sure that they create value for consumers about the product. So also counterfeit is a big problem, and they want to control that, and they say that $98 billion, and that is the amount that they lost. Basically, they lose, the luxury brands lose. But if you look at the economic cost, they say that it is somewhere from $600 billion to maybe many $1 trillion. That is the this is kind of more politicized thing from the luxury goods industry, but that's what they say. And so many fashion companies are already using blockchain to tag all the products because of that. They want to make sure that the product you are buying is actually the product that it is whatever the brand claims to be, and that is one thing. Many companies are already doing that. And also, if you look at the luxury car market, and so if you buy any Ferrari car and your Ferrari says that 10,000 kilometers, don't believe that. Apparently, many dealers were working with the Ferrari company, and they basically automated a rollback, and so it was 1,000,000 miles, and suddenly, Ferrari helped them to basically roll back to only 10,000 miles or 1,000 miles, and so basically, and no one trusts Ferrari anymore. There is a lawsuit going on in the US. So that's why this Italian car company, Alfa Romeo, has started doing that. And so if you have your car and you take to all these different dealers, and the record is with every dealer, wherever your car went for servicing. So you cannot just collaborate with Alfa Romeo and change the mileage in your car, and that's what they are doing about that. So basically all these things, and so basically it took a lot of time, and these two research questions, I have to make it more academic because I'm in the university. So two research questions that I'm looking at here. One is institutional legitimacy from the government, regulators, and consumers and public, how blockchain can help achieve that, and how it can help create value. These are more marketing jargon, value creation and value capture by using blockchain, and those are the two things that I'm looking at. So basically, to make it more academic type of paper, I'm using multiple case studies method, and which is kind of different cases of luxury brands, car, and different types of fashion, and diamond, and those companies I took to develop some theory. And so this is the model that I developed. When we talk about implementing blockchain, and these are the different features of blockchain. When you talk about blockchain system is not only blockchain. It has a lot of combination of other technologies. That some of them use artificial intelligence with blockchain, and some companies use QR code and NFC chips with a blockchain, and some companies create the non-fungible token with blockchain. And these are the key aspects of blockchain. And so compliance with regulatory mandates that we were talking earlier, the digital product passport of the European Union, the US has the UFPA, and all those things that is regulatory mandates, and social norms and values, exclusive product and traceability, and not kind of doing harm for the environment and treating the workers fairly, and all those things are the compliance with social norms. And hedonistic value for consumers, that is one thing. And so basically consumers want to be special. They want to feel themselves special, exclusive type of product they want to receive, and that is the hedonistic value for consumers. And also customer engagement. Engagement means actually companies like Prada and Louis Vuitton, they found that if they have some type of things, the QR code and the NFC chips or those things in the product attached, and consumers visit in the store, they are likely to spend more time in the store talking with the sales associate and all that thing, and that increases engagement, and that also increases conversion rate. That's what they found actually, all these things. And so engagement and all these things lead to favorable behavior like loyalty, satisfaction, positive word of mouth, and that is the value creation and value capture. That is one thing. And gaining legitimacy, and your company is viewed as a good company, and that is good thing for value capture. That's one thing. And also they are likely to charge premium pricing, and not only that, secondary market, tertiary market, and higher order market. That means if you buy a product from a Swiss watchmaker and you want to sell your second-hand watch to me, and then maybe that digital product or the non-fungible token of the watch makes me sure that that is original watch. You are not trying to sell me counterfeit, and when you sell that, part of that money also goes to the manufacturer. That is the secondary market that they are monetizing. And so also tertiary and higher order market, and all these things lead to a value capture. And so the cases that I was using from many different sectors, I developed this model. So I don't have a lot of time to go over everything in this model, but I'll just talk about the few things. So when you talk about the non-fungible tokens, and non-fungible tokens a few years back was really crazy thing, and they were just making a monkey picture and selling that monkey picture for $10 million. It is a real thing. I had really no idea why people are paying $10 million to buy a monkey, and you can print and own 1,000 copies of that monkey in your computer, but that is not what they are doing. When we say non-fungible token, that non-fungible token actually helps you to verify the product that you are buying, and that is the digital twin of the product, and that's what the non-fungible token that we are talking about. This is the quiet technology. When we say blockchain is really complicated thing, and people run away when you talk, oh, this product is traced using blockchain, and it is really scary thing what you are talking about. So they don't even use blockchain. They use blockchain, but without saying that they are using blockchain. And so, okay, this is the thing, non-fungible token, we call the digital twin. Okay, the twin is easy to understand. This is digital twin of a product. If you have any concerns, you can verify with our company. That is easier thing rather than showing. So this is more quiet type of thing. And actually, apparently 95% of the non-fungible token that they were selling for millions of dollars, you can buy for $1 today. But this luxury fashion non-fungible token is real thing that they are using. Okay, so basically, a digital product passport that they are creating for a product, they have all the details about the product, who manufacture, who design, where the raw materials came from, all the information that is very valuable information is in the digital product passport and non-fungible token. So all these companies, and non-fungible token is not only non-fungible token, and they also come with additional benefits. For example, Prada was selling non-fungible token, and it also came with a ticket to go to the Milan Fashion Week. So those are the types of things that they are using. And this is NFC and QR code. Actually, long ago, they have. If you are a retailer, as a retailer, you could already verify without blockchain long ago the product is luxury, the product is genuine or counterfeit. But as consumers, we couldn't do that. And so blockchain empowers us. We can verify the product ourselves. It is genuine product or it is counterfeit product. And so those are the things about the NFC and QR code. And the QR code are really kind of, you cannot put NFC and QR code for every product. You have really good Swiss watch you bought for $50,000. It has some type of NFC. It bothers. So basically, in that case, they take kind of artificial intelligence and kind of imaging of that, and they put basically it makes you impossible to verify that this is genuine product. Basically, if there are some scratches, and also those scratches are really wear and tear over time, or those are kind of characteristics of fake product, you can verify that, and so they are integrating with artificial intelligence. So we have all these things, storytelling, and they have to tell story about the product, which is really, really important. And so that is in the digital product passport, all information about the product, or with the QR code, or the NFC, and storytelling is important thing in luxury fashion industry. And with NFT, and storytelling can be done with any of the features that I talked earlier. And so, okay, not only this, they basically comply with the current regulation, but the idea is also to make sure that they can comply with all the future regulations, and that is the idea here. That's what the luxury fashion companies are talking about. So yeah, I have a lot of things here, and I already talked all the things, and that's why I can directly go to, sorry. So I wanted to go to this is conclusion section. So basically, as a conclusion of this paper is that authenticity, transparency, and trust, all those things are important for every product, but especially important for luxury products, and blockchain can help achieve that. And so all those help to get premium pricing and value capture and experience and loyalty. And so basically also supply chain is more efficient using blockchain. You know exactly what the product currently is, if there is any damage, and you can basically identify. Actually, apparently in the US, I don't know, people do not do that in Singapore, but in the US, the return is about, consumer return the product. It is almost 6% of the total sales they return. And sometimes they buy real product, Prada handbag, and they take Prada-looking handbag and go to the store and get money for that. And there are, actually, these are real things. And actually, this was published by Wall Street Journal, actually, a few months back. So basically, blockchain can help you create that non-fungible token for that product, and you cannot take fake Prada bag and tell the store that I bought this with you. In the US, I don't know here, go and they want to be nice with customer. Actually, they will give you $10,000 just returning the fake Prada bag. Tell them that you bought for $10,000. So basically, those also that can help control, and no counterfeit goods, and so ethical compliance and adaptation to regulatory environment. Thank you very much. Let's see if anyone has anything. Then I'll just stop here. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Prof. Kshetri. So let's open up for questions. Are there any questions that we'd like to ask?
Yeah, thank you very much for the very interesting session. I really enjoyed it. Besides luxury goods, has it been adopted, blockchain, has it been adopted for any other cases, like real-world examples? This is fantastic. I just want to understand anything else that you've done your research on which covers other than luxury goods?
I'm sorry, like any other product categories you were saying, or?
Yeah, so blockchain, your talk was on the luxury goods, and it's been adopted, right?
Right.
But have you done any research or anything besides luxury goods? Has it been?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So if you could share that as well, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research about that for the past 10 years almost, and maybe 8 years or something. So actually, Walmart used to track all mango coming from Oaxaca state to the US, and the Nestle company was tracking the dairy product from New Zealand to Middle East, and Alibaba and JD.com were tracking. Actually, Uchang rice, I don't know if any of you have eaten uchang rice. Uchang rice looks like really interesting, but I have never eaten uchang rice myself. But if you go to China, every other bag of rice is uchang rice. So the Uchang municipality decided that, they'll give you uchang thing, and Alibaba had the collaboration with the municipality, and so basically uchang rice, when you buy uchang rice on the Alibaba.com website, you get the genuine uchang rice, and that is tracked with using blockchain. So many product categories, and actually the WWF designed a system for tracking the Pacific, all the seafood product. Actually, if you buy Patagonia toothfish, that is some type of sea bass, they were already tracking using blockchain for a long time. So they were tracking pretty much every product, except for maybe not Coca-Cola or water or that type of thing. But many of the projects died now. Maybe it is expensive to do that, and it is not really practical. Maybe it will come in the future. Like, this is a big class, 70, 80 people are graduating from here, and they are developing solutions, and it becomes more and more kind of practical to develop solution. It is really useful technology, but like if you want to hire a high-end blockchain developer, you have to pay $1,000 for 1 hour, okay? So basically, so it is really expensive to implement all those solutions, and very slow data processing, and that's why they haven't done that, and they discontinued many of those things. But pretty much they were doing everything, and the reason I did this luxury thing is this is the only sector that has been increasing in the past few years compared to, so that's what they were doing in 2018, 2019, 2020, when the blockchain was at the kind of peak, I think, but they discontinued many of the things right now, but it will come back in the future probably. Yes.
Sorry, I think we don't have time for another question.
Yeah, we're running out of time,
Apologies.
and I'll be happy to talk with you later probably. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well, definitely. Let's thank Prof. Kshetri again. Right. Okay. So to wrap up the academic sessions, next we have Professor Raymond Chew.